Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. I wanted to do a short review today of the Sunblessa Headlamp. This thing is actually pretty darn cool. But first, let me just tell you that I actually got this from the manufacturer themselves. In fact, it's the very first thing that's ever been sent to me from a manufacturer directly asking me to review it, which I very much appreciate. It's a milestone in the channel's history, I think, and I hope that other manufacturers of knives and flashlights follow suit. I occasionally do flashlight reviews, so I'm just going to give my concise review about this. Now, I've actually used this fairly extensively over the last few weeks, and I have some thoughts about it. First off, my number one thought is that this is $28, maybe $27. There's a link down below uh, to the Amazon an Amazon site, which if you use that link, it will support the channel. But that besides, I think that $28 is an absolute phenomenal price for a headlamp. There are cheaper headlamps that you can get, like made by Energizer and other people. But this one has a lot of features packed into it that you find on much more expensive headlamps. I think first off that, okay, so when you open this up, it comes with a nice little pouch, right? And it comes with the cord that you need. And it just tells you right off the top, this is how you unlock it, which I think is so helpful because 9 times out of 10, when you open a new flashlight, you don't know what the lock or unlock is. And it actually has this really cool little cheat sheet here. It shows you where the lock is. And if you hold that down for 3 seconds, it's going to lock. And then you see that red light came on for a second, and now it's locked. And that red light will just come on and tell you, hey, I'm locked, I'm locked, I'm locked. And then if you hold it down for a very long time, it comes on again, and now it's unlocked, right? Very cool. It's very, so the locking, the way that it locks and the way that it unlocks, I find to be very good. The next thing that I really like about this, and I'm going to name all the things I like about it, and I'm going to say a couple of things that I don't like about it. This is super light. Like the band, this material here weighs more than this. And also, and you would think that this battery doesn't hold a charge for long, but it actually really does. Like I've had it on multiple days in a row, pretty much all day long, and the battery never runs out. I asked them specifically, how many milliamps is this battery? They said that they listed as 700 milliamps, but they actually have upgraded it since. It's an 800 milliamp battery, which is absolutely phenomenal for a small little LED like this. As far as its brightness is concerned, it has 3 modes here, and then off on your main light. And the way that they have this reflector inside here is really nice. Like just like that, I know it's a plastic reflector or whatever, but the material itself is highly reflective, and the beam that it throws is really nice. Like it's pretty concise to a short amount of space and time. And then when you get out, like about, at the 10 or 12 foot mark, you're talking about like at 10 feet out, you're talking at about like a 2-foot circle, which is great. It's a nice little focused lamp. And then its sidecar lights, it has a small LED, which just does like a general area light, and then it goes bright, and then it also has red. I think that any headlamp worth its salt is going to have red. You have to have red on a headlamp. Red doesn't dilate the eyes. It preserves your night vision. 9 times out of 10 when you're camping, that's what you're going to need. And I think that that's absolutely great. As far as what those lumens are on the main light, we're talking about 365 lumens on the max, which is pretty darn good. And then 190 on high, 38 lumens on the middle, and 2 lumens on low. And that 2 lumens is actually, it feels warmer or brighter to me than that, but that's what it says. I really like it. It says on the max lumens it'll run for 40 minutes. Now, in general, I have been running it on the medium mode, which says 38 lumens, and that is 20 hours of runtime, it says. In my practice so far, I think that that's probably closer to 25 or 30 hours is what I would guess. That they're kind of underrating themselves there, which is great. I like a company that actually underrates what their runtime is going to be rather than overrate it. Kind of like gas mileage on a car. Most car companies will say, oh, this gets 35 in the city, and you know for sure it's only getting 25. I'd much rather a headlamp or anything that is rating something for it to be a pleasant surprise rather than a disappointment after the fact. So I appreciate that very much. Speaking of which, I might have mentioned this, but this battery is rechargeable, which is great. Headlamps should just be rechargeable. If you have a headlamp that is using AAA batteries or something like that, they're going to weigh more. The batteries tend to corrode because you leave them in there when you forget about them a lot. I just like the rechargeable battery so much more. This strap itself has this very nice material here, which keeps it from sliding off of your head. I really like this sticky material a lot. It's not uncomfortable at all. And speaking of which, this is a high vis side thing, and it actually keeps this from getting lost very easily. Even though this is all black, it's very easy to see this, and the camera isn't picking it up, but that is really reflective in low light especially. I really appreciate that. I think that makes this a good light for jogging or running in the early hours before sunrise or after sunset, especially at nighttime, or for anyone who's a runner like that or out in the woods and wants to be seen. This is going to help you be seen because of the high vis on the sides, and just because this is so light that it's going to be easy to run with on your head. It's not going to bother you, and it's not going to slip off because of sweat because of this. So that's very cool. So what are the things that I don't like about this? And then I should say there's two, before I get into the things I don't like about it, let me just say there's two models of this, and they sent me both. One of them has, as their sidecar light, they have the red, right? And that's a memory. It remembers the last thing you did. Bright, low, right? That's cool. This one, however, for its side light, it's green instead of white, which is interesting, but it's not my style. But hey, super cool. And thank you for sending me two of these. The second one I'm going to give away at my next subscriber milestone. I'll be giving away one of these guys, or maybe I'll give it to one of my Patreon viewers. And then the things that I don't like about this. This is the old school mini USB rather than USB-C. I think that everyone should just move over to USB-C because that's pretty much everything that everyone does at this point. Not that big of a deal, but I'm just throwing it out there. This is very light, which is great. However, this plastic that makes up the back part where you roll it, where it runs on this here and it goes back and forth, feels just a little bit cheap to me. It held up fine. It hasn't broken. I wonder how well it's going to last over 2 or 3 years. However, having said that, for $27, $28, if I use this every week in and week out for 2 or 3 years, and then for some reason this back breaks, it's not going to be the end of the world for that price point. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this will last 10 years and it'll never break and I'll never have a problem with it. Just feels just a little bit cheap to me. But, that doesn't mean that it's going to break. Those are the only two things that I really don't like about it, is that it's mini USB instead of USB-C, and that the plastic mounting bracket feels a little cheap to me. Other than that, I think that this is pretty much a home run. So thanks so much for sending this to me, Sunblessa. I really, really appreciate it. And I really appreciate that you've given me one of these to give away to my Patreon or subscribers. I will do so as soon as I can. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. And you can also leave a comment. That really helps out the channel. And if you want to support more of this type of stuff, you can go down below and follow the link to buy this product or to become a Patreon member. I really appreciate all my Patreon members. I couldn't do it without you guys. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.